Well, hello everyone. My name is Dara Rath and I'm the pastor at Faith Lutheran Church in Port Elgin, Ontario, Canada. And each week I bring you a story that takes about 5 minutes to watch. The story this week is from a book called Flowers in the Wind by Robert Coos. And the actual story is called A Perfect Heart by Gary Izard. So here's the story. There once was a young man who stood on a street corner, opened his coat, and cried out, "Look, everyone, at my perfect, perfect heart." A crowd gathered around, and everyone was indeed impressed with his perfect heart. It was a heart without a single blemish, perfect and complete in every way. Soon an old man walked by and stopped to see what all the commotion was about. When he heard the young man talking about his perfect heart, the old man pushed his way into the center of the crowd. He then confronted the young man and said, "Young man, yours is not a perfect heart. If you want to see a perfect heart, you need to see mine." With that, the old man opened his coat to reveal an old, knotted, and ugly heart. It was full of bumps and bruises and scratches, and pieces of it had broken off here and there. The crowd began to laugh, but the old man held up his hand and began to speak to the crowd. He showed them a bump and said, That is when I met my first love. It was a perfect day of sunshine and birds singing in the trees. It was truly a wonderful moment." He then showed the people a hole in his heart and said, "This hole is when my first love broke up with me. It used to be much deeper, but the years have filled it up some. However, it still pains me." He then showed the people another bump and said, "This is when I met the woman who would be my life partner. We had such a wonderful life filled with companionship and laughter and tears and joy. This scratch is from when we had a terrible fight, but we made up. This piece of my heart that is missing is when I lost my beloved wife. She took part of my heart to her grave. I trust, though, that one day we will be together again." The old man then showed the people another bump and said, "This is when we learned we could not bear our own children, but we adopted a little girl instead, and we were very happy with our beautiful daughter." The old man went on to describe many other bumps and scratches and holes in his heart. When he had finally finished, the crowd was very, very silent. The old man then turned to the young men and said, "You see, son, you do not have a perfect heart. It is not perfect because it has not lived. It has not been touched with joy, with tears and laughter and love and pain and anguish and hardship and celebration. Only when you are an old man like me will you be able to look upon a gnarled and battered heart and be able to say that now you indeed have a perfect heart." This beautiful story is about the virtue of wisdom. Wisdom is the quality of judging rightly and following the soundest course of action. A couple of tips to consider. Wisdom usually comes from making mistakes in life. Life experiences do not necessarily make someone wise. We all know people who never learn. They continue to make the same mistakes over and over again all their lives. Having a great deal of education does not guarantee wisdom. We all know many people who have lots of formal education but can't seem to live a full and balanced life. Wise people know when to be silent, when to avoid conflict, how to be gracious when someone praises them, and to laugh at themselves, to be quick to forgive others, and to be generous to a fault. In short, they are the kind of people to whom we are all attracted. And as we continue this life this week, let's think about this story and how we show kindness and love to other people. So that's a wonderful story. And thank you, Robert Coos, for sharing. And thanks for taking 5. And blessings on your day.